My name is Sarah Brown. I'm a nutritionist with Buncombe County Women, Infant, and Children Supplemental Nutrition Program. And we're going to be making an instant oatmeal this morning. And the reason that it might be fun and interesting to make an instant oatmeal is that there are drawbacks to the little packets of oatmeal that you can buy in the store. And that they don't come with much food in them, right? So you might end up having 2 or 3 packets of oatmeal for your breakfast. And a drawback for that is you're adding a lot of sugar, you're adding a lot of salt, as well as some artificial flavorings and preservatives. However, when you make your own instant oatmeal, you can have control over how much sugar you're adding, how much salt, and what exactly is going into it. And it's important to think of some good breakfast options, especially when you have something like diabetes, because you don't want to do a whole lot of sugary cereals. You don't want to do heavy, fatty foods like bacon or sausage a whole lot, and you may not have time to do an egg white omelet or cook hot cereal every morning. So instant oatmeal can be a great choice for you in that. And there aren't many ingredients for this recipe. The big one is going to be rolled oats. And one of the nice things about rolled oats is that they have a type of fiber in them that's good for heart health. It actually decreases cholesterol levels. And so, when you have diabetes or high cholesterol, it's important to protect your heart and get those cholesterol levels down when you can. We're also using almonds here, and almonds are a nice source of protein. They're going to have you can stay fuller longer when you're adding almonds to the meal, and they have an unsaturated fat that's a heart-healthy fat. We're also using cinnamon, a spice here, and there's some evidence that cinnamon can be helpful to reduce blood sugar levels. Probably, if it is helpful, you'll have to take more than is in this recipe, but it's a nice flavoring agent anyway, a nice spice to use. We've got some brown sugar here, and the brown sugar you can adjust as you need to. So you may not need any sugar in this recipe at all, or even reduce it, or use something like brown sugar Splenda mix to reduce that load for you. And a little bit of salt. And salt, again, you can use less salt or no salt at all, just depending on your taste and where you are and what you want to do with the recipe. And then something like a dried fruit, dried cranberries, are nice to give some texture, some flavor, and a little bit of sweetness. Okay, so let's put this recipe together. The first thing you're going to want to do is to take your 6 cups of rolled oats and put them on a baking pan. And bake these oats for about 20 minutes at 325. And while those are baking, you can roast your almonds. This is a cup of almonds, or you could use walnuts or another type of nut as well. And you want to roast these at a medium heat for about 5 minutes and stirring them often so they don't burn on the bottom. And it gives a nice roasted flavor. And this is something that you don't have to do as part of the recipe, but it does give a nice extra flavor if you do that. And also while they're cooking, you can put together your other ingredients as well. So we've got a 1/2 cup of brown sugar and that you want to pack, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and again, you can do less than that. And then 4 teaspoons of cinnamon. And then a cup of your dried fruit like cranberries. Once the oats have cooked for 20 minutes at 325, pull them out of the oven and give them a few minutes to cool down slightly. And then what you'll do is add 4 cups of these rolled oats into the food processor. And if you don't have a food processor, you can also use a blender, maybe in divided doses. So maybe do 2 cups of the rolled oats at a time if you're using a blender. So we're just gonna scoop these in, 4 cups here. And add along with it your brown sugar, the salt, and the cinnamon. And you're just going to pulse this until you get a coarse powder. Okay, so a coarse powder that looks a little like this, maybe a little more churning would work as well. So then you just dump it into your bowl that you're going to be putting into the refrigerator. Okay, add the rest of the whole oats. Your cranberries, and your almonds. Mix it all up together, put a lid on it, and put it in the refrigerator. And this will keep for 3 months in the fridge, or if you keep it out on the counter, it'll last for a month, and it'll be great. And then you're done. So you would do this part in an evening that you had off or a day off. And then in the morning when it's time to run around, you've got it all ready to go. So now in the morning, you've got your mix here. So you want to boil some water. You want to boil about 3/4 cup of water and add that to 1/2 cup of this mixture. Stir it up. Stir up the 3/4 cup of water into the 1/2 cup of mixture. Put a plate on top of it and let it sit for 5 minutes. And during that 5 minutes, you can be gathering up your lunch. You can be going about whatever else you need to be doing for your morning routine. After 5 minutes, uncover it, and you've got a bowl of hearty oatmeal ready to eat. And as it is with all the sugar involved, it's going to be 3 carbohydrate servings per serving of oatmeal. If you leave out the sugar altogether, it'll be about 2 servings of carbohydrate for your day. And this recipe can be found at buncombecounty.org.